His Adam Gorney signing day show continues on Rivals.com. Now joined by Stanford coach Troy Taylor. And Troy, another signing day down. First full one. How does it feel to kind of get in the groove here?
Oh, it was great. It was a much different experience. Obviously, last year coming in, you come in December and you're really inheriting a class and taking them on as your own, of course. But everything's happening so fast. This class was an entire year of us developing relationships and evaluating them with other players, and we're excited. 23 players that we love, 6 that are coming in mid-year, which is the most ever in Stanford history. So really cool about that. We'll get those guys here in a couple of weeks, and these guys all are really highly competitive, love football, and they're great students as well.
Yeah. Let's talk some positions. Quarterback, I don't want to say it was a position of need, but definitely needed to be figured out. Elijah Brown is an incredibly talented kid, smart, but also plays at a program that doesn't lose. So how big was it to just get him in the fold and then kind of build around him as the centerpiece?
I think it was huge. He's, comes from one of the best high school football programs in the country, plays on a big stage, every week. 42-2 as a starter, which is incredible. He started 4 years, which at a school like Mater Dei is that just simply doesn't happen. And, he had a couple of different head coaches, a number of different offensive coordinators, but was able to maintain that consistency that he brings. He's just such a steady force, great accuracy, anticipation, really competitive. Demeanor never changes. And this was a huge pickup for us. He's not only a proven winner, he's a guy that just brings, I would say a steadiness to a program and to an offense that is always something that's welcome.
Also loaded up at the other positions on offense, running back and receiver and tight end. Did you feel like you just needed more weapons to get going with what you want to do there?
Yeah, I think, we knew we had lots of needs, and we were, under the 85 scholarships this year. And so this was going to be a signing group that we signed a lot of players and they were going to come in and play immediately. So it was vital that we brought in a really great class. And so, but we need more explosive plays. And so, besides bringing in a quarterback, we brought in 3 running backs and a couple of wide receivers and 2 tight ends. And then 3 offensive linemen. So we signed every position, but punter and kicker, that's typically at Stanford. We've in the past, brought a walk-on in, and then he competes, and if he wins the job, then he usually goes on scholarship. So we signed every position, and so this is this group that we really feel is going to be the group that turns it for us. Our coaching staff did an incredible job of building relationships and selling Stanford of who it is. And what they can, give to a student athlete in their future. We just can't wait to get these guys on campus.
At defensive end, you didn't go to the ends of the earth, but definitely the ends of the country for guys, whether it's Connecticut for Benedict Ume or Jersey City, Atlanta, South Florida for Dylan Stevenson, and so many down here. Was it just really target? Stanford has a national reach. Was it targeting the guys that you needed and then getting those guys in?
Yeah, I mean, we had so many needs going into this year. Really, it was every position we were looking at. So I think some years there might be, Adam, more of a kind of a need-based recruiting, but we were looking for every position. There are certain positions we needed to sign more, but when you come across guys like Benedict Ume and Dylan Stevenson, those type of players, you want them on your team, regardless if you feel there's a need. Now, we have needs at all those positions. So, but for us, like you said, we've got to recruit nationally. We got to go all over the country. We're a very unique student athlete that can get in and play at Stanford. And then, but the ones that are drawn to this place, we feel like we can beat anybody in recruiting. Now, there's a lot of shiny objects there that are distracting, that you still got to overcome, even at a place like Stanford. But we feel like we're the outlier in Power 5 football, that we're the one school that can offer something a little bit different. And we're betting on that. We're betting that if we can put another 2 or 3 classes like this one that we put together today, that we're going to be a player in the big times in college football.
I've talked to a lot of coaches today. We inevitably have to talk about transfer portal. With you, it's different though. Is that something that can even be a part of your recruiting class? And is it sort of refreshing that you know what the groundwork is, and maybe it's just not something that really is that effective for you?
Yeah, I think the graduate transfers is not something that we're ever going to get a lot of success out of. It's just I think the graduate transfer kids, most of them are looking just for another experience, like to play another year of football. Most of these kids that are trying to get in graduate school, they get in over the phone with these colleges in 5 minutes, and that just doesn't happen at Stanford. So it's going to be hard for us to compete in that world. Now, undergraduates, we can compete. Usually, they've had to be kids that we recruited in the past, and just they chose not to go to Stanford. They have to be high academic kids, so it's not going to be a huge realm for us. Maybe 2 or 3 kids at the most. But I do think it's unique and refreshing, as you said, that we're going to build it through high school recruiting, and we use it to our advantage. You know, when we're recruiting, we're like, some of these schools you're recruiting against, they're going to bring in maybe 30 or 40 guys. You'll see it happen in the transfer portal. We won't do that, and we simply can't do it. So you also don't have to look over your shoulder thinking that you're going to have to beat out 3 or 4 transfer portal guys. You know who you're going to have to compete with at our university. They're here on campus, or they're going to be high school student athletes that come. So that, I think, it makes it different for us.
Yeah. Again, that is Stanford coach Troy Taylor. Troy, swig some NyQuil down and have a great holiday.
Thank you. Have a great, happy holidays to you.